Hey everyone, it's Jamie from BestNerdLife, and welcome to another episode of Nerdy Thrifts. This is a video series where I go around my local and not so local charity shops and other places to find some nerdy bargains. Today is the start of the Platinum Jubilee bank holiday weekend type thing in the UK, so there is only one way I can think of to celebrate it: to go around charity shops and other places. So yeah, let's go. Alright, so let's start off with going to Plymouth Comic Con. Yeah, pretty random, but as you can see in a minute, this place is actually a good place to go to find games. Now, I'm not going to say that they're the best price games in the world, but we'll see what there is. Now, before we get to the games, I just want to say this Iron Giant figure is absolutely incredible. Buy, select. This thing is absolutely fantastic. It even has light up eyes, which is pretty cool. However, I just don't have room for it at the moment, so I decided to leave it. I also found some model blades, like these when I stop moving, the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII, and also the Gunblade from Final Fantasy VIII. They had sale prices on them, like £15 or so off, but yeah, not for me at the moment. On to the first game Centric table now, and as you can see, a Philips CDI in the box for £225, something I'm not going to pick up at the moment. Some Mega Drives, all kinds of stuff in the back. Yeah, most of these went the next time I went round. Atari Jaguar, a SNES, some good selection of consoles here. And then on to the actual games themselves. I was going to pick up Rise of the Robots for £7, I think that is, but it was pretty busted up, so I decided to leave it. Never heard that, jam it. Yeah, as you can see here, just loads of random things. Some in the box, some not, some in good quality, some not. And this is what I like about like conventions and markets. You can just go in whole hog, have a look around, see what there is, and just really get deep. Of course, there's some Engage games. I picked a couple of these up recently for prices that were less than this. Again, I'm not saying this place is the best place to get decently priced games, but you can more often than not find some really decent ones, some fairly rare ones. Moving on here, as you can see, there's a bunch of boxed, really interesting ones that I've not seen before. Like this one I've never seen, Psycho Pinball for 17 quid. That box is pretty awesome. That's a Mega Drive game apparently, I did not know that. Lion King, all that kind of stuff. Some Mega Drive stuff, some N64 stuff, some SNES stuff. I'm just kind of thinking what that is. But yeah, just a lot of things. Some Japanese ones here too, which is always cool to see. In the back there, some Dreamcast stuff. I was tempted to get Wacky Racers, but as you can see, there's some light damage. But yeah, 3DS games like Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell and Phonics Fun, whatever that is. Yeah, and this next thing coming up is pretty awesome. Not Sonic, well, Sonic is pretty cool, but yeah. This next thing right here, this is a, wait for it, there we go. This is a Super Game Boy that is boxed for £40. I've already got one of these, it's not boxed. I was so tempted to get it, but yeah, I left it. Some Atari Lynxes in the back there. This is a console that I really want to get, or a handheld I should say, I want to get. Jaguar there, just yeah, some really awesome things to see. Next up is a fairly large collection of PlayStation 1 games. I really like the PlayStation 1. It is kind of like my go-to console when I'm thinking about my childhood, because that is the one I played. But yeah, Dino Crisis there, X-Men Mutant Academy, this one that I'm pulling out now, Doom, that's always a classic. Although, back in the day I didn't realise it was on the PlayStation 1 because I wasn't really old enough to play it. But yeah, a bunch of stuff coming up. Lots of things that I wouldn't necessarily have found anywhere else potentially, like Legends of Legaia. I have kind of heard of that, Chrono Crisis, all kinds of stuff. Nuclear Strike, Kensei Sacred Fist, that kind of rings a bell. Yeah, just some really cool stuff. Overboard, I enjoyed that as a child. Yeah, lots and lots of stuff. And then I believe right near the end, there's that, Code Delca. That kind of rings a bell. Isn't it a horror game? I don't know. I've never played it, but it does ring a bell. Xavius 3D, I think that is. I'm terrible at pronouncing stuff. But then this thing, Gex Deep Cover Gecko, what a fantastic game. Can't believe I didn't pick this up. I regret it so much. On to something a little more modern here, Wii U games. Now I'm actually trying to build my Wii U collection because it's a console that I've not really had a lot of experience with, and I do think that the games are going to get more expensive because, you know, they didn't sell very well, they're not as, you know, available. I think these are going to shoot up in price at some point, so I'm just trying to build my collection as much as possible. On to something a little bit more retro here, Game Boy Advance games and Game Boy Color games in the box. Now this next thing that I pick up right now, The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. Now this is actually something I had as a kid. I adored it, and obviously I got rid of it whenever. Yeah, this was actually only the second Zelda game I played up until very, very recently. The other one being the original Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. I can't believe I got rid of it. And my girlfriend also got into the spirit of things when she found this tub full of Pokemon figures. She went to town on it, just started pulling up all kinds of stuff. There were some really cute ones, some really expensive ones, but yeah, in the end she didn't get anything. Moving on, I also found some Sega Saturn games like this, Theme Park, for, as I said, the Sega Saturn. I have a couple of these types of games, but it's definitely something I want to, you know, play more of and eventually actually get a Sega Saturn. But until then, I can just look at them and dream. In the back there, I saw Resident Evil 2 on the N64, which is pretty cool, and also the Pokemon camera at the side of it. Now these next things aren't gaming related, but I have a huge love for stop motion animation. I actually did animation at university, and part of that was to do stop motion. And just seeing these cups, bride heads, were absolutely fantastic. I really, really like stop motion films, and I want to see more of them and make them and just play stop motion games, because there are a few out there, but they're really very inexpensive. And just before we leave, there is Andrew Lee Potts from Primeval. Random. On to some actual charity shops now, and in this first CD rack I managed to find a couple of PC games, like these really random edutainment CDs. Never heard of them before, but you know what, for 75p each, why not? Let's add them to my collection. On the other side of that CD rack, I also managed to find this thing, which is unreal. Yeah, that's a pretty unreal find. Haha. But no, yeah, this thing was pretty cool. It was £3, it didn't have like a booklet in or anything like that, and I wasn't entirely sure if you needed a code for it or not, but you know what, I'm gonna pick it up just because I want Unreal on my shelves. It was in good condition, so yeah, pretty decent bargain. Now this next thing is pretty cool. This is a Genius Max Fighter F16U 4-button joystick with throttle. You know what? If this wasn't £10, I would have picked it up because it's in the box. It seemed like everything was there. But yeah, I just have quite a collection of joysticks at the moment, and I just don't want to add any more because I'm kind of running out of space. So yeah, I left it on the shelf. Moving on to a glass cabinet here, I found a bunch of consoles. Wii's, DS's, PlayStation 2's, fairly standard fare with what you will find in a charity shop at the moment, for fairly standard prices. There was only one thing really that I was interested in, and that is on the bottom shelf. We'll see it in a minute. When I move down, past, hit and run. There we go, going down. Another Wii, but next to it, Nintendo DS Final Fantasy 3. That was pretty cool, but it was £10, which is basically the going rate for it at the moment. So not really much of a bargain, so I left it. And LEGO Dimensions. Okay, this next clip, I wasn't actually going to include it because I didn't really find anything that interesting for me at least. Then I noticed this Shutter Island, the adventure game that I completely missed when I was there. What is that? Like, I didn't know Shutter Island had a game. Like, what even is that? Oh, I kind of want to play it now. I can't believe I left it. I touched it. What? How did I leave it? I also popped into game because I saw someone on Twitter talking about how he got quite a few like really decently priced cheap games because they were having like some kind of stock clearance or whatever. So I popped in there at my earliest convenience, and I'm going to be honest, I got quite a lot of things here, and the majority of what I got in this haul is from game. I trolled through those 3 for 2 offers very, very extensively. You can see Darksiders 2 is $4.99, like Fallout 76 is $2.99. I wasn't going to get that because I don't like that game. But yeah, some really decently priced stuff here, especially kind of, you know, like exclusives. They were selling pretty well, especially the older ones like Quantum Break, etc, etc. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff, which is pretty cool. And I'll show all off at the end of this video. Quantum Break, $2.99, like I said, like really, really cheap. If you wanted some older titles, really good opportunities there. Now this particular find, Black Sad Under the Skin, is absolutely amazing, at least for me, because I adore Black Sad, the graphic novels. I've got a lot of kind of concept art about it. I just really like the franchise. So seeing this limited edition game for $3.98 was absolutely incredible. I actually nearly walked away and didn't see it, but yeah, absolutely amazing. On to the PlayStation side, and straight away I picked up Override Mech City Brawl for £1.98. I think that was a fairly decent price for a game, and you know what, I actually really like that game. Do not regret picking it up at all. Now a lot of these were actually a little more expensive because I think the older PlayStation 4 games sell for more than the older Xbox games, but I still got a pretty decent haul. Some VR titles, some stuff I wanted for quite a while to try, like eventually when I come to it, Concrete Genie, this thing I'm pulling out now. Wanted to play it for a long time. That is probably the most expensive one that I got at $7.99, but I don't regret it at all. Really cool game, really enjoy it. As you can see here, just rifling through those 3 for 2 games, trying to get the best possible deals that I could. And you know what, I'm probably going to jump back into game at some point later on, just to see if there's anything else left. Probably not, because yeah, there was some really cheap stuff here. Like Ghost Parade, don't know what that is, but $4.99. Yeah, I don't know. I could have spent so much money here. But I think I was fairly good at budgeting. I think I'm fairly good overall at budgeting. But yeah, really, really cool. And here is the haul for this video. As you can see, a lot of these games were actually from game, like Ghost Giant, Concrete Genie, Big Farmer, Gears 5, Dungeon 2, Override, Dragon Age Inquisition, Watch Dogs 2, Monkey King Hero is Back, State of Decay 2, Black Sad, and Groundhog Day, Like Father, Like Son. And then also Unreal and those 2 edutainment games. I've got to say, a really awesome haul from game. I got a lot of them 3 for 2, so even though the most expensive one I paid was $7.99, overall I think the average price was about £4 to £5, which I think is really awesome for all those games. And yeah, that is another Nerdy Tourist video in the bag. If you did enjoy it, then by all means like, comment, subscribe, do all that social media goodness, and as always, keep living that best nerd life.